Hello, dear friends. I would like to introduce this outstanding book to you. So it's a new release, and this is the book about milestones in the life of a master. I wrote the book about B.K.S. Iyengar, and it covers the time from his 70th birthday till the very end. It took around 4 years now, and but this is the outcome. And you see extraordinary photos also. You see the front, you see the back, you see inside, and these photos were taken in 2011. And it was that year Guruji taught in Guangzhou. It was also a world conference on yoga, and it was Mr. Zen Yi Cheng. I met him now a couple of weeks ago in China, and he took these extraordinary photos for the Chinese Association. This is Light on Guruji. Mr. Zeng Yi Cheng, he is a master of light, and the master of light, as a master of light, he of course was inspired to use the daylight for Guruji and the photos he took with and of Guruji. The back is something, it is like his legacy. I will not give you now what is written there, but it's, I think you should read it. So it is inspiring. It opens, the front, the cover opens like this. And here I give the last year, 2014, before he died, he was nominated for Peace Nobel Prize. And also, Mirota, they gave a deep and highly recommendation again for the next prize. Then he was awarded like the highest prize and award in India itself. So it was 2014. So I think even posthum, if I would search, I would find more indications also for nominations and everything. He just left the world when he was still in the depths of a flow. And so I hardly believe, I cannot believe actually, that he really left. So everything stays somehow we would call inspired by him. So he left, physically he left, but I think in all of us he left a deep imprint or an inspiration also to continue. And this is my aim. This is not to say this is the end of his life, but this is why I took this into the beginning of the book, to say it is the end and the beginning. And so the steps inside the book, of course, they will inspire all of you, I think. And I took my best of knowledge, I did not hesitate to share. As you all know, I'm not the person withholding, but I like to give and I like to share. And this is also what Gita-ji very often said. She said, "Oh, Rita, when will we finish the book, Menopause?" I said, "When we have shared everything." And then she laughed and she said, "Yes, this is a good answer." So the inspiration for the book came because, you know, I have written a couple of books with Gita-ji according to her wishes. So we wrote the book Iyengar Yoga for Pregnancy, Iyengar Yoga for Menopause, Iyengar Yoga for Healthy Aging. And so this was everything that came from Gita-ji and myself. But it was at a certain point my own development inspired me, or actually pushed me forward, since you have to imagine, we are worldwide senior teachers. And then we had, of course, intensives, national intensives, like a German intensive, a Dutch intensive, American intensive. And then the teachers from those areas were invited to participate a long workshop with him, like 3-4 weeks of seminars and daily teaching. And then later on, he developed also the idea of collecting the seniors only, and the senior teachers worldwide, all countries. So we had a backbend intensive, pranayama intensives, and we had, for example, also Panchgani. Panchgani was an outstanding work, and I was lucky. I was invited for pranayama intensive, and the backbend intensive, I did not get a place. But then, of course, you collect all material around it, and Panchgani I registered. And Panchgani, Guruji came to me and he said, the place is so limited, Rita. I'm very sorry. I was in Pune. I wanted to go. I have to say you cannot come. And I said, but what to do? You stay here, you continue your practice in Pune. And according to that, of course, then he said, but you know, Gita-ji will teach a women's intensive, and of course you will be part there. I promise. So it was, my colleagues went, and also some German senior colleagues had a place, and I waited in Pune itself, and then they came back and they said, extraordinary. What did he teach, of course? Can you share? No, it is too complex, Rita. And then I asked senior colleagues from other countries, and one said, well, he taught Samkhya philosophy. You think of the elements? Yes, he taught Samkhya philosophy. And I thought, my goodness, now only 3 handful of people have listened to him. Of course, somehow it will be recorded, but who will go through all the recordings? Who is interested in it? And I went home and I thought, what a shame, actually. It is so much, it is waste of energy. And I went home, and it was at a certain point also, a book came out, and Guruji wrote books, and it was this book, and it was the last book he wrote, actually. That was Light on Life. And this book, Light on Life, I opened it, and I saw, Samkhya philosophy. So many chapters, so 5 chapters, 6 chapters, and he started with Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha. And then I was so curious and I couldn't stop reading, but nothing practical in this book. Nothing what he taught in Panchgani. And I was asked by my colleagues, they said, Rita, what can we do about it? I said, I don't know. So then I collected material about it. And with this material, I thought, I see now. Gita-ji was in this intensive Panchgani. She repeats things of Panchgani, what he taught there. And it ended like this, that I collected all material. And so this was the reason why. It was actually, the beginning was his 70th birthday. He wrote this book afterwards. And it was his 70th birthday when he taught Panchgani. And I thought, this has to be shared with more students of Iyengar Yoga, with teachers of Iyengar Yoga. We cannot keep it with some people, they will die, and then that's it. And so I collected more material, and I developed now, as you can see in the book, I did transcripts of one complete day, so you find his speech, his language, on prana, then on asana. And the knowledge there is so deep that I hope that you get the same feeling like myself, that he touched new land. He touched for himself, it was not new, but for us it was new. It was like explaining the world in a completely different way. And so this was my beginning. So it was actually this book, when I read it and I thought, sir, but where is the practical part in it? Now this is everything is spiritually and of course psychologically and very good. And that was the reason why. So I started actually with the 70th birthday. And I started then with, of course, then there was pranayama. And again, my colleague said, can you transcribe for us? Okay, I transcribed a whole day for them. And so getting the knowledge, the deepened knowledge, his understanding of what he thinks his method is, or yoga is. And from there I continued in 5-year steps, very simple. And it was then 75, 80, 85, it was really milestones, mild steps he took. And in this, you cannot believe so what you come across, material you find, or colleagues say, oh, I also found something. Do you want that material? Yes, of course. Again, you study and you think, wonderful, this has to be added. And this is, he really developed in depth when he crossed the 70s. It was like a summarizing or like consolidation. The method got so deep at a certain point. And you thought, but this is not taught. You think this is a physical thing, but this is actually what the method is. It has such a deep spirituality. But nobody talks about it because he says, you have to start with Annamaya Kosha. You have to start with a physical body. What can I do? I cannot teach you the highest bliss, the Ananda. How can I teach when you have no body? But the body is a vehicle. So you understand? I understood. I understood. Yes. And this was the beginning, and then, you know, at the end you do not know where to stop. Yeah.